Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading, on Friday, December 6, 2024. And you know, the local criminals here, they're starting the weekend off early. But before I tell you everything that's been going on here, please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow and get the message out there and exposes what's going on here, because this is happening to a lot of people that own property around the country. We're going to talk more about that coming right up. So anyway, after I woke up this morning, fed the cats, as I'm leaving their building, I noticed that the straw bales that were stacked in one of the outbuildings, 4 of them were removed and thrown to the ground. So yes, somebody was on my property again. And I want to thank the subscriber who wrote a comment under one of the last videos, the Q&A video. Why doesn't anyone help targets? Perps dumped 55-gallon of water for the 17th time in the mailbox incident. Well, this very astute subscriber who evidently is aware of what Gematria is. You know, it's a form of numerology. I have to figure out how it works. It doesn't work like regular numerology, but anyway, she took the fact that it was a 55-gallon of water, and she said, first of all, 55 equals God. Satan is December. That's right, because December is ruled by Capricorn and Saturn, Satan, the boss, and it's wicked. So there's some expressions suggest that money can be fleeting or scarce, much like the water. For example, quote, just treading water financially, unquote, implies struggling to make ends meet, and, quote unquote, fishing in troubled waters describes taking advantage of difficult circumstances for personal gain. So I want to address that for a minute, because I actually had one subscriber say that I'm wealthy. I'm not wealthy. I'm on very limited income. But I sold a $500,000 house in New Jersey. I had to pay off 2 huge mortgages and spend $27,000 that I had to pay for my real estate agent, and then another $25,000 to move. And then I probably put another $100,000 in just cleaning up the property. Okay, just cleaning the property. And that's without all the improvements I made, like bringing a house here, bringing the nonprofit building here, bringing my shed here, installing a 350-foot long gravel driveway, right? Installing underpinnings on all the buildings, underneath all the buildings, installing 6 or 8 water catchments, leaders, gutters, raised garden beds, water hydrants, and a septic. That's right, because when I moved here, there was no place to live. I bought basically raw land. There was a mobile home trailer here, but it was covered in black mold, and I actually had to sign an agreement that I wouldn't live there. And I guarantee, as I'm sitting here today, that black mold was deliberately done so that nobody would be able to live there. And they were trying to off that nice 96-year-old man who passed away in the month of July of pneumonia because that house was covered in black mold, and I had to tear it down. It was not a livable space. So no, I'm not wealthy, but I have to say that I'm much older than you who said that. You know, some of you people are in your 30s and 40s. I'm in my mid-60s. I've worked a lot longer, which means I've accumulated more stuff. I've accumulated more payroll. I've started more businesses, okay? So it really just kind of turns me off. And meanwhile, there are people in the community that have way more than I do. Way more. Some of them I would consider wealthy. Yes, wealthy. Because they have multiple properties, multiple income streams. Okay? But this is not about what somebody has and doesn't have, but it's just the comments that I receive sometimes are crazy. So what I wanted to say is that my neighbors, the ones that are involved in harassing me, their houses are much larger than mine. Much. I would say that my first neighbor's house is 5 times larger than mine. They have almost twice as much land as I have. Everybody around here has a lot of land. Even the newlyweds that moved diagonally across, when they divided up this property and purchased the 20 acres across the way, they've got their 20 acres, newlyweds, the first time home, from what I understand. So everybody around here has a lot of land. They have more than I have. And because they've been living here longer, I would imagine that they no longer have mortgages. Or I should say they shouldn't have mortgages at this stage of the game because it's so damn cheap to live here, right? So I just wanted to make that clear, that the people that are harassing me have way more than I have. But they're predators. They are a pack of wolves. And that includes the county lawyer, who's got his little fingers in everybody's pot. And I guarantee he's banking on whatever money is coming into this town. And that's what I'm going to discuss because, I love reading our local newspaper. And that's why I purchased a subscription both online and the real paper, which I've got in front of me. And they're seeking a public comment on the Jackson County Water Intake Improvement Project. And guess what? I have a public comment. I do. I always do. And my former friend Bill in California, astrologer friend of mine, he would always call me up and ask me for advice. He says, I call you because you're a woman of a lot of opinions. And I do. I have a lot of opinions. So I'm going to tell you what my opinion is. And you can follow along. I've got a lot more to say, by the way. It's not just about this county. But this also applies to where you live, okay? Seeking public comment on Jackson County Water Intake Improvement Project. Oh, let's talk about water. All about all my water barrels. Okay. Get this. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Nashville District, is seeking public feedback related to a proposed raw water intake improvement project located in Jackson County, Kentucky. So they're going to relocate or have this here, which means that if they're relocating it here or forming it here, that includes big money. And wait till I tell you how much money. The scoping letter for this proposed action may be acquired here. I have a URL. The proposed project is based upon the Jackson County Water Association's need to provide greater water flow into the treatment plant to meet public demand for safe, potable drinking water. Well, let me tell you how much water is here. We've got so much friggin' water coming off these mountains. It's unbelievable. The district intends to provide design and construction assistance to Jackson County for this water-related development project, subject to the provisions of 531 in the Water Resources Development Act of 1966. Okay, so they all met. They all had their little powwow at the local court, and guess what? Local officials met with Senator Robert Stivers and Representative Timmy Truitt, both, by the way, born in the month of December. One was born December 25th, and one was born December 1st. Yes, I had to look them up and get their dates of birth and places. And you guarantee I'm going to pull up their birth charts. That's right. So anyway, they went to the old courthouse, and these legislators presented checks for more than $24 million in state funding. State funding. This funding returned to Jackson County is to invest in the parks, the water, and the roadway infrastructure. And I guarantee there'll be a lot of misappropriation of some of these fundings into other programs, if you get my drift. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Okay? So representatives from the Jackson County Water Association, where I pay a ridiculous amount on a monthly basis for my water, and I know that for a fact because one of my neighbor's water bills came to me by mistake. I opened it up, and they've got a bunch of people living there in a huge house, and their bill was like $24 friggin' dollars, and mine is always 44 plus. And I'm one person. And the city of McKee, and the Jackson County attorney. You know, that criminal guy. You know, the one that I call the little gaslighter, psychologically abusive. So they all met. They attended the meeting. I guarantee he's going to be paid extra fee for attending the meeting. Like, why does he need to be there, right? So now Truitt says, I'm excited to see this much-needed funding coming to Jackson County as a means to invest in our community, expanding our water infrastructure, as well as putting money towards developing the Jackson County Park. Like, we need a park, like a hole in the head. We've got less than 800 people living here. Do we need a park? Of course we do, because it's right next to the Freemason Lodge. One of them. Yeah. So Senator Sivers also emphasized that these projects will benefit the entire region and improve life for our neighboring counties like Owsley, Lee, and Wolf as well. The funding was made possible, and listen to this, HB1, legislation that makes one-time investments towards paying down public pension liabilities. I'll repeat that. Paying down public pension liabilities, improving water infrastructure, and preparing rural areas for economic development opportunities. The total of $7.5 million has been allocated to Jackson County in FY25 for our water line expansions. This includes a check for $5 million was presented to Jackson County Water Association for a highway water line expansion. And then they said it's a great development potential. And then there was another check for $2.5 million that was presented to be obligated to the water line expansion along Highway 290 for the residents near. I won't bore you with the rest of the details, but I just want you to know that written comments, if you're interested, written comments can be sent to david.a.adams at usace.army.mil. This is a military project. Written comments could also be mailed to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Nashville District. Attention, CERLN-PMP, David Adams, 110 9th Avenue South, room A as in Apple, 405 Nashville, Tennessee, 37203-3817. For anyone that's interested, I can place this in the description section for anybody that wants to reach out. This may be happening in your town. You want to find out where this money's coming from. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers of Nashville. They're seeking feedback related to the proposed water intake improvement project. Maybe we should provide them with some feedback. So anyway, I'm sure everybody's heard that California had a 7.0 earthquake. Rumor has it they were supposed to have a tsunami, but for some reason the tsunami was canceled. It's like, I don't know, I guess they planned to have a tsunami, but something went wrong with the, the weather modification apparatus. And it didn't happen. They'll have to improve upon the apparatus so that it can work next time. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to ask AI. I said, AI, like, where are the best, safest places to live in the United States? So I was shocked. I was actually shocked. AI said that some of the best places to live, and let's see if I can pull it up here, was one of the first ones on the list was Northwest North Carolina, Western North Carolina. Yeah, Western North Carolina was top on the list. You know where that hurricane was, Hurricane Helene, where thousands of people lost their lives. Thousands, not 120. From whatever you're hearing, that's wrong. It's wrong. Thousands of people lost their lives. Thousands of people are missing. And then there are thousands of people that are living in tents. And thank you for the article that you provided to me. I also saw the same article about the sheriff, all the sheriffs that decided they were going to steal $45,000 of generators that were donated to the flood victims. It's been 12 friggin' degrees. And do you have any idea how cold it is in the valley here? There are icicles hanging at night. The grass is frozen, solid. These people are living in tents. $45,000 of generators stolen by a bunch of sheriffs. This is a good example of criminals with badges, she said. Thank you. Oh, Terry gave this to me. They refused to give the names and badge numbers to anyone, including the National Guard. Could you imagine? All the generators that were donated were stolen by sheriffs. These are the people that work with them. They did it at night when everybody was asleep. They refused to give the names and badge numbers to anyone, including the National Guards. These are your gang stalker community thieves. Imagine stealing generators that were being donated to Helene victims. Imagine. And let me just pull it up here. Let me just show you here. Generators. Let me see.
Are you worried that using your home address
All right,
for
one
business
second.
puts
I
your
can't
privacy
stand
at
these.
risk? At iPostal One, we can...
Okay.
I want to know who those officers are. None of them looked familiar, which they wouldn't look familiar because they were all sheriffs from out of county.
Sheriffs from out of county.
Yeah. Wow, that's so sad.
Because Mitchell County's sheriff's office flooded and their sheriff's cars flooded, so they had to call in support from other counties. Yep, but that video, like I was telling Sarah, that video, out of all the law enforcement corruption videos I've ever seen, my video has two things that I've never seen on law enforcement corruption, and that's the National Guard questioning them. They won't speak to the National Guard. They won't give them their information, won't give them their names. They're like same thing they did to me. And then the firefighter telling on them. Like it's a complete video of them admitting that they took them, saying they dispersed them in the community, then refusing to give badge numbers, names, and then the National Guard captain came out there, asked them, they refused. The guy refused again, said he wasn't going to talk to us, and then came over and threatened us for taking our stuff out of his truck, and then me walking over there to get away from him, and the firefighter admitting he watched them take them that morning, and admitting that they didn't disperse them into the community. They stashed them at a fire department when they just said multiple times that they brought them to people in the community.
Before the 40 generators disappeared, Evan and Sarah were able to deliver 2 of them to the disabled and elderly. A common theme that has been coming from this Helene situation in and around Nashville is corruption. Despite the destruction of Hurricane Helene, it also has ignited a wave of compassion and unity, with countless lives touched by acts of kindness and support, bringing...
I'm going to end that there. So there you see. Now you have to wonder, why are they not giving badge numbers or names? Do you think that they were using those fake badges? You know, the video that I did about the fake badge distribution. Yeah, the fake badges. You know how the sheriff's departments gives out fake badges to the people that they like, family members, people out of jurisdiction. So they may be utilizing these fake badges for an organized crime network, right? The fake badge distribution network. Inquiring minds like to know. What do you think? Do you think these are real sheriffs? Or do you think that they are part of the fake badge distribution network, and under the guise of, you know, national security or whatever, they went and stole all these generators, $45,000 worth of generators. Imagine. So I've got some more news here. Let's see. So that's one of them. And then there was, excuse me for scrolling down here. Here. And two people sent this to me, and I actually saw this. The U.S. Department of Justice suspends the controversial airport search program after an ANF investigation. So I'm going to play this for you guys a little bit, and thank you for the two people that sent it to me. I actually did see this, but I've been so busy here between the vandalism and
check this out. I'm going to show you how I
hit in the
afforded
head
this car.
and stuff. It's been really
Okay,
rough.
you ready? All right, $118
So
per car.
I've got to get past these advertisements here.
People you see behind me are passengers. There appear to be no more drug agents hiding in plain sight. They've been ordered to stop because of one passenger's video that would never have been recorded had he not watched our investigation.
You're going to sign a consent form saying that you're allowing us to search them?
Whatever you guys are doing in this airport
Or I'm going to detain them,
is totally wrong.
run my dog on it, and get a search warrant. I'm a random search class.
I didn't feel like I could have said no.
The only white folks, and I'm the random search.
No, there's no way this is random.
Innocent passengers searched at the gate by plainclothes drug agents looking to seize cash.
You're taking people's money.
So what they're doing is, these are plain-clothed people claiming to be drug enforcement agents. They're stopping, what they're saying is random people. But the people that have been interviewed are claiming it was definitely not random. These were targeted hits. It's almost like these people, quote unquote, organized stalking community-based agents knew which people to target, which people were carrying cash. Because think about it. How much cash do people generally carry with them when they're on an airplane? I mean, I know for me, if I'm traveling, I would probably carry more cash with me than normal, just knowing that there are some places that don't accept credit cards. Right? But most of the time, you know, a lot of people are using their credit cards. But the people that were targeted for a search had like wads of cash on them. So they're making the assumption here that if you're carrying cash, that it may be drug related. In another instance, there was someone, and even one of the reporters, who says, I had to book a flight like the night before. These fake people, these plainclothes DEA agents, allegedly, are pulling people over if they have booked a flight immediately. If they didn't book it in advance, if they just book it like the day before. They're making the assumption that it could be drug related and pulling people over. So now the U.S. Department of Justice suspends this controversial airport search program after an investigation. It was they declared it unconstitutional. And the officers that were pulling people over, they were just completely arrogant. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of arrogant, condescending.
I work hard for my money. How many innocent people do you have to search before you find what you're looking for?
I've got nothing to say to you.
The DEA still hasn't answered our questions, but this 2-year Atlanta News First investigation, why do people have to prove themselves innocent, would lead to a single incident that would end the entire program nationwide.
Oh, that's my. Hey,
That's yours. Where's your bag at?
I don't consent to search, sir.
You don't have to consent. Where's your backpack at? Where is it? Under your seat?
It got put away, but I don't consent to being searched.
I don't care what your
this is
consent stuff.
Had you not seen our investigation, what would...
Now, I'm not going to play the rest of it, because this belongs to Atlanta News First. But basically, in a nutshell, it was that this one search resulted in shutting down the entire airport search program. You know why? This passenger was very savvy. He had already seen some of what the U.S. Department of Justice had been investigating about these illegal searches, and he actually had it up on his phone. He knew exactly what to do, what to say, and to photograph, videotape it. If it were not for this one individual, the program might still be in existence, because he was knowledgeable, he knew his rights, he stood his ground, and he recorded it. And this is why I say to all you targeted people out there, you never know that you could be the one person that exposes the wrong person at the right time, and that this whole program gets blown out of the water. Yeah, I'm going to use the term water. You never know. So anyway, I will post links to this video so that you can listen to it yourself. It's only 6 minutes long. And I look forward to questions and comments. And these criminals, as I'm recording, they are hitting me in the left side of my head. They've been pulsing me since 6:30 a.m. It's the lower portion of my skull. And I want to know, has anybody out there had their skull imaged? Have you had any imaging done? Any MRIs? If you did, email me privately. I mean, obviously it's personal. Email me privately if you did, and what is the type of doctor that you went to, and do you feel like the results were accurate and not concocted? So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm going to sign off for now. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And I apologize for the glare. This is the first sunny day that we've had and in a long time. And the sun is shining through my window here.